Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at minimum operations to make array non-decreasing problem, which is from LeetCode number 3914. Let's now read the problem statement. In this problem you are given an integer array nums of length n. In one operation you may choose any subarray in the range of L to R and increase each element in that subarray by x, where x is any positive integer. Return the minimum possible sum of the values of x across all operations required to make the array non-decreasing. So non-decreasing means it can have equal values or it can have incremental values, but it should not be decreasing. An array is non-decreasing if nums at I is less than equals to nums at I plus 1 for all the values of I. Right. Now let's take an example. The first example here gives that there are values 3, 3 and then you have 2, 1. So in a graph you will see 3, 3, 2, 1. In this case 3, 3 are absolutely fine, but if you look at 2 and 1, then we can actually increase the value of 2. And to how much value should I increase? I can go up to infinity, right? I can go up to 100, up to something like 50, maybe 20. But to what value should I go to make it non-decreasing? I will choose a minimal value to which I should go, which is to match up only with 3. So I will increase it by plus 1. And if you see this 1, then how much will I increase this? I will increase this by plus 2 because that will match up with this 3, right? So total increment would have been 3. But if you see, the answer is 2. It is happening because we are not individually incrementing it. Because if we individually increment, maybe the value is going to be higher. So what we will do is, we can select the range. Like let's say I can select this range from this 2 to 1 and add a plus 1 value. So this 2 will become 3 and this 1 will become 2. And after that I will not increase this value because there is no point in increasing this value further. So I will just increase this by plus 1, and so I will increase it in only L to R value being the same range. So total times we incremented is 2 times and the total values incremented is plus 1 and plus 1. And that is how the answer is 2, even though the individual value increment will add up to 3, right? I hope the example is clear. Similarly, if you look at this 5, 1, 2, 3, you have 5, then you have simply 1, 2 and 3. 5, 1, 2, 3. If you want to make it non-decreasing, then at least the right hand side item should match up with 5. Okay, so how can we do it? You can select this entire range and increase the value by plus 2, which will make this 3 cap up to 5. It will reach 5. This 2 will reach 4 and this 1 will reach a value 3. Right. After this, you can increment this range in plus 1 and this 3 will become 4 and this 4 will become 5. And then only in this particular range, you can increment the value by plus 1. So how many times increment happened? The increment has happened 3 times, plus 2, plus 1, plus 1. So the total increment is 4. Even though if you add up the individual increment, it's going to be higher. That means 1 incremented to 5, so plus 4 for this, 2 incremented to 5, so plus 3 for this, 3 incremented to 5, so plus 2 for this, which will make it 3 plus 2, 5 plus 4, 9, which is not true because the range update is just counted exactly 1 time. Okay, I hope the question is clear. In this case, the constraint says about the nums dot length being 10 to the power of 5, and you know that we have to solve within 10 to the power 8 operations. So the time complexity should not go beyond n log n or maximum n root n, because n root n will make it 10 to the power of 7.5, right? Because the square root of 10 to the power 5 is around 10 to the power 2.5. If you look at each individual number, it is going to be 10 to the power of 9. And if there are 10 to the power 5 items, and if we end up adding those items, then you can end up with a number of 10 to the power 14, which can definitely exceed your integer range. So we should be taking the 64-bit integer, which has range up to 10 to the power 18. Okay, so having seen the problem statement, let's now look at the idea to solve it. So if you think about the solution, then there will be only 3 cases happening if you draw all the cases on the graph. So each of the segment, you will see either it is a decreasing segment, it is a equal segment, or it is an increasing segment. How to handle them? If it is a decreasing segment and you want to make it non-decreasing, then what we will do is look at the value, the highest value on the left, which is 8, and take the entire of the entirety of this value in the range and increment them all with the delta value of the highest value, how much apart it is from this 8, that means by plus 1. So we will increment this entire range by plus 1. Okay, now this 7 will become 8, this 5 will become 6, and this 2 will become 3. Now this 8, there is no point that we should increase this value beyond this point. So if you look at this 6 and this 3, I can increase this range, but how much should I increase? What is the highest value? 6, and how far apart it is from 8? 2. So I will increase this by 2 plus 2. So this 6 will become 8 and this 3 will become 5, right? Now we cannot increase any of this 8, 8 or 8, but only this 5 will increase to 8, and that will be done by plus 3. So the total times we are doing is 3 times, and total value is 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. So 6 is the value that I have to use, right? So 6 will be the answer in this case. But if you find out like how to do these operations, like isn't it too difficult to do the operation? And if you have to do it manually, then yes, it will become difficult and cumbersome to do all these things. But this idea can be broken down into something else. This idea can be broken down into addition of the simple delta values, which means that if I just tell you that I can just move from this 8 to 7 and add up the delta value, which means the plus 1, the difference, because that difference has to be compensated. If I move from 7 to 5 and add up this delta value plus 2, if I move from 5 to 2 and add up this delta value plus 3, why are we adding the delta values? Because anyway the gap between 7 and 8 will be compensated by doing plus 1, and if I am doing plus 1 on this 7, all the lower values can also see plus 1 if they are contiguous, right? So 5 and 2, all of them, 5 and 2 just have to reach to 7. If they reach up to 7, then this 7 will take care of increasing everybody connected to 8. Okay, therefore from 5, what should be the goal? From 5, my goal should be to reach to 7. From 2, what should be my goal? From 2, I should reach to 5, so that 5 will take care of me increasing the value from 5 to 8, right? So everyone has a goal of reaching to their next individual alone. Okay, so if 2 can just be equals to 5, then there will be no extra operation for this 5 which is present here. And because of that reason, I can just add up the delta values to make all of them equals to this 8. And so if you add up the delta value plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, it is still going to be 6. And that is the logic we can use here in order to make any decreasing curve non-decreasing. If the curve is equal, then you will get 0 because you will not have to change anything. Okay, so we will not touch the equal values. And when we have increasing curve, then it is already a part of the non-decreasing type. Okay, it is already ascending order, so we will not touch any of those values. So out of these 3 cases, I mean one of these 3 cases will appear. You don't have to do anything when values are equal. Adjacent values are equal, don't do anything. Adjacent values are increasing, don't do anything. Only when adjacent values are decreasing, you can just bring the lower value up to the higher value, and then they can increment together. Okay, so this is the value that I'm interested in, and you can just add up the adjacent delta values to reach to an equal value which will make them non-decreasing. If you look at a larger curve, okay, in this larger curve we will not be touching this part. We will add up all the delta values here. All the delta values you can keep on adding for all these elements. All the delta sum will make it something like this. If you see, it will just flatten it up, right? It will just flatten it up. Now what happens with these incremental values? I said that we will not be touching them. Well, if you have anything in the middle, let's say you have these in the middle, and you had one item here too. So when I'm increasing this value in this range, then why won't I extend that range and increase the other side too along with this left side? So if you have a decreasing increasing curve, which is a hybrid of decreasing and increasing, then you can actually take the range not just ending at the lowest point but extend it to the other side, and that same operation will be actually increasing the value on both the side. Okay, so we don't have to do extra operation on the right side. Okay, and they can all be brought up to this max value. Up to this point the same thing is going to happen. After this point again we can measure the delta value. If you see, after this point, why are we measuring only these delta values? Only these delta values. This delta value measurement will actually make them equals to something like this, isn't it? But my goal should be to match up to this value, because if you can make this part equals to this, then I can do a bulk operation when this part was also made equals to this curve. Then I can take the range from this L to this R and make them all move up to this point, something like this, right? Because you can just achieve the local maxima, all these flattened out curves can go together and they can all increase at once, right? So this problem again breaks down to achieving the local maxima value, which means reaching the local maxima. Okay, local maxima, and that too only on decreasing curve. On decreasing curve, you need to reach to the local maxima on decreasing curve. And if you look at this curve, and if each of them actually reaches to the local maxima, you will see a flat curve here. You will see this flat, and then it will hit this point. After this, since this is decreasing here, this is decreasing, all of them will have to rise up to the local maxima. So the final answer that you are going to have will produce a curve which will be something like this. It will be something like this. If you have understood how this final curve was made, if I can just show you, it will be something like this. How this final curve was made, then I think you will come to a conclusion that adding up just the delta values on all the decreasing slope will give you the minimum sum to make this array non-decreasing. Okay, so the solution is very small, but thinking about the solution can get a little bit challenging. In this case, I will just be parsing the array exactly one time and adding all the delta values for the adjacent element, and that is why the time complexity is order of n and space complexity is order of 1. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is preparing for top product based company interview, then we have brought for you live interview training program based on data structures and algorithms, system design, and AI for SDE. This will make sure that you cover all the requirements for data structures and algorithms, be it online assessment or the face-to-face rounds. We will be doing live practice on coding as well as discuss the assignments. We also have a self-paced number theory course which you can take for difficult online assessment and face-to-face interview preparation like Google Media.net and Code Nation. And for system design, we will be discussing the distributed design along with components, HLD, LLD. LLD is a self-paced course here, and we will be discussing everything keeping the AI aspect of design in mind. That is how AI agents will come into our design and how to develop AI features in the pre-existing design. This will definitely give you an edge in the current AI era. And then we have AI for SDE 6 months live training program where you will be getting to build a LLM right from scratch. Along with that, we will understand the entire pipeline of agentic AI. And this is not just a theoretical course. We will definitely be doing hands-on for each of the concept that we learn on Python using Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. If you do not know Python, then definitely we will be learning it on the go. To know more about this training program, you can WhatsApp us on this given number or visit our website techdose.co.in. In this code, I have taken long integer for 64 bits, which will measure up to 10 to the power 18. And I am getting the nums array. I will just be checking if the current item is smaller than the previous item, which means I am on a decreasing curve, and I will be adding the delta value. Finally, I will return the sum, which will be guaranteed to have the minimum sum to make the array non-decreasing. So that's it about this problem. I hope it was clear. If you still have any doubt, then feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.